All right, Mark, I love it when you do the countdown. Whoop.
Took a break, remember?
Oh, shoot. Hang on. We'll let Mark sign in real quick. Actually, Joe, give me the countdown by the time he gets here.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is Anthony Marquez, better known as Kung Lao for Mortal Kombat. Make sure to like and subscribe to NerdCage Live. Be there. Us.
NerdCage Nation, are you ready for round number 7? What better movie that bleeds everything nerd culture than the 2010 cult classic Scott Pilgrim versus the World on Thursday, July 29th, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. in the West. So joining the NerdCage crew you know and love, including Mark Withers, myself, Joe, the Trollhammer, and voice actor extraordinaire Matthew Farden, we got a lineup louder than a sex bomb.
Coming at you fast, Titan Goji from the Toku Titan cast. Once again, on the attack is Big Jack. From the depth of nerd hell comes Alex the Swell. More powerful than General Zod comes Nick and Laura from the Review Roulette Pod. And walking the movie walk, once again, Wes, Gabe, and Tommy from Real Talk.
Good day for a swell battle. And begin!
Greetings, citizens! You're now trapped in a nerd cage with your hosts Mark and Jay. We hope you have a smashing good time.
You're about to witness the strength of geek knowledge. Hello and welcome, that's right, you're trapped in Nerd Cage Live. This ain't just a reaction show, but a debate show, and a live discussion on everything that makes people like you and I tick, so thank you for joining us tonight. Please hit that like button and subscribe. I'm your co-host, Jay St. G, certified geek, 7 days a week, coming to you live from Syracuse, New York, and always among us, our moderator and trollhammer, Joe from Fallen One Gaming, and always with us, the warrior from Wakanda, the fiend from Louisville, my man Mark Withers. Introduce this fine Giants gentleman today.
What's up, everybody? Super excited to be here as usual. And yes, tonight, making his NerdCage Live debut from PTA Sports, Pest the Analyst. How are you tonight, sir?
I am doing fantastic. I didn't realize that I was going to be surrounded by such nerdom, but goddamn, do I feel comfortable. Let's do this.
Yes, let's do this indeed. Thank you for joining us tonight. And before we get started here, Joe, who do we have in the chat tonight?
Tonight in the chat, we have Paul Tackett.
What's up?
We have Cole, Godzilla Gamer at 77, and Scott Bannock.
Yes, the OGs
Awesome.
are in the chat tonight. That's awesome. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you for everyone for being here. So, Pest, so long story short, I found out I'm a Giants fan, as everybody knows, but I found out on Twitter Nation that you were pretty much not only a sports fiend, but a nerd too.
So yeah, I guess the secret's out. I'm a huge ass nerd. It's might be like a shock to some people, right? Based on like the stuff that I do on my YouTube channel or whatever, because I'm predominantly talking about football. But yeah, man, I'm a big ass nerd at heart. I love nerd stuff.
Right on. Yeah, and we can't wait to chop it up with you about nerd culture and all that cool stuff. But before that, please tell our audience at home like a little bit about PTA Sports and what your channel is about.
Okay, so hi. I'm Pest, the analyst of PTA Sports. I am a super big New York Football Giants fan. I am originally from New Jersey. I live everywhere now. I have literally gone around the world several times. I was inspired by some of the OG Giants YouTube creators. I started out as a fan, started out as a consumer. And, after a while, I was just kind of like, I got a lot of good knowledge about football, being that I've played football almost my entire adult life. I've coached football, both at a semi-professional level. And so I decided that I was going to start a YouTube channel, and I was going to talk about the New York Giants. And so, started that channel, I want to say it was about almost 3 years ago, maybe. Two years, some changes when I started the channel. I'm not quite as active as some of these other Giants YouTubers because my show is more of an opinion-based show as opposed to a sports news show. So when the season's not going, I'm not really putting a whole lot of content out. Right. My channel tends to thrive during the season because there's just a lot to talk about. Obviously I talk about the postseason. I talk about free agency, the draft, people that we sign, things of that nature. But I'm not specifically a news channel. So if people come, they'll see that sometimes there's lapses in between videos. It's just because I don't believe in forcing content. That's just kind of a thing that I always said. Like I'm not gonna force content. I'm not going to make videos for the sake of making videos. I'm going to make videos that I enjoy doing. And so that's kind of the reason why my channel is still small. I also don't really care about being like, this big YouTube guy or this big content creator guy. I'm just having fun. So that's kind of the story of my channel. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the story of my channel. That's why my channel exists. In regards to me, behind the scenes, the man behind PTA Sports, I'm a military vet. Spent a cajillion years in the military.
Thank you for your services. Absolutely, thank you.
And I've got to experience a lot of different cultures. I've got to go and do a lot of really cool things, and that's also helped with like my nerdom, right? Because I'm a big comic book guy. I've gotten to go to a few Comic-Cons. I've gotten to, meet some real cool people that are a part of like video game creation and comic books and things like that. So that's also like really helped me with my nerdom. I'm a huge Deadpool guy. Okay.
Yes.
You'll notice that next to there's a picture of a weird goat on my wall. Don't worry about that picture. That's just that's a weird goat. But I have Deadpool. And once I actually like change my man cave, which this is my temporary man cave, but my actual man cave, there will be tons of comic book stuff and tons of Giant stuff all around because those things that I'm passionate about. So yeah, that's me.
Cool. Very, very cool.
Most excellent.
For 1 second here, I want to welcome Shea Smithers and Byron Kingsley to the chat.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, guys.
We should get right to it because Brian Kingsley did bring up some, and that's what we're kind of here to talk about first. We can get it out of the way. So it came to a shock. It was funny. Mark and I were recording a video the other day, and that's when we both received the news at the same time about the passing of the great Richard Donner. And let's just say, the reason why I was shocked, yes, he was 91 years old, but the reason why I was shocked, because last I heard, he wanted to do Lethal Weapon 5. And now we got the news that he passed away. I didn't know he was ill. So yeah, we can go around the circle real quick. Pest, what was your genuine feelings about the news of Richard Donner and what his movies and his work mean to you?
So, I heard about it. I want to say that I actually did not hear about it until the 6th. I think it was the 6th when I heard about it. I know I found out about it on Twitter.
So the day after, yeah.
Yeah. So I found out about it on Twitter. And I was like, I saw the name, right? I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I saw the name and it didn't click yet. I saw the name and I was like, Richard Donner, that sounds so familiar because he was trending. And I was like, Richard Donner? Richard Donner sounds familiar, and I clicked on the little link. It took me to the trending page, and it showed me that he had passed away. And then I saw a picture of him, and I was like, "Oh snap! Okay, Richard Donner passed away." I knew he was old. I knew that he was very old. So like, this maybe sounds whatever, but when old people die, I'm not shocked. I'm like, okay, you know, gentleman was pretty old. That makes sense. But I wasn't aware that he was wanting to make another Lethal Weapon movie. Yeah. That's interesting. But I mean, like, so when I think of him, I think of like the Goonies.
Yes.
Right. Like that's what I think of when I think of him. And I mean, I know that he's worked on a cajillion different movies, but that's what the first thing that pops into my mind is the Goonies. And being an old head, I remember I've seen the Goonies 1,000 times. Yeah. Like it's funny because I literally just quoted the Goonies yesterday when I was talking to my wife because I'm a weirdo and I quote movies all the time. So that's like the first thing that I think about when I think about him is the Goonies. And then like the Lethal Weapon series, Superman, obviously, you know, so it's sad from the standpoint of we're losing someone who was such a big part of nerddom, like just nerd movies in general. Like it seems like all his movies were kind of nerdy, right?
Yep.
And so, you know, it's almost as important as like when Stan Lee died. You know, you feel like, oh man, we just lost we lost a nerd father. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so it's sad from that aspect. But you know, when you, this reminds me of when my grandmother's sister passed away. When my grandmother's sister passed away, she was 94 years old. It was probably one of the weirdest funerals I've ever been to in my life because it was the most non-sad funeral I had ever been to, right? It was just a celebration of her life. And so whenever someone that is of that age passes away, I always think back to that funeral. And it's like, well, let's celebrate his life. Let's celebrate that person's life because they lived a good one. 90, yeah, you got a good run. What was he? He was 91, correct?
91.
Yeah. Oh, listen, that's a good run. Man, 91 years, that's a good run. And we got a lot of really good content from him. And so in my world, I'm just going to celebrate him. I'm going to celebrate him. I'm going to probably sit on down. I'm going to watch some Goonies. I'm going to watch some Scrooged. I'm going to watch some Superman. You know, that's just what I'm going to do. So, I mean, that's kind of my take on it.
Great take. Mark, I know you got a lot because I know how much his movies meant to you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm a child of the 70s and the 80s, and so Richard Donner's movies are sort of, you know, how like people, you know, they'll talk about music and they'll say like, oh, X song was part of the soundtrack of my life. His movies were very much like the soundtrack of my childhood. You know, everything from The Omen to the Superman movies to Goonies to Lethal Weapon to Free Willy to Radio Flyer. Like he just everything that he came out with was, in my opinion, magnificent, and it influenced me in a way that this is the reason why I'm here. You know what I mean? Like he was a big part of the reason why I fell in love with movies to begin with and became like super interested in that as an industry. I love everything that has to do with the making of a film, watching a film, analyzing it. And a lot of that has to do with the movies that he made. You know, I didn't know the guy personally, obviously never met him, but because his art was so big in my life, I feel connected. It's almost like losing a family member, right? It's almost like losing like a distant uncle or a cousin or something like that. You know, it's like, even though I don't know him, I feel like I know him, you know? In addition to that, like, you know, what a lot of people right now are kind of talking about him as a director and talking about like the movies that he directed. But what a lot of people don't realize is that he was a crucial part of the X-Men franchise as a producer, right? So His company, the Donner Company, was instrumental in getting the first X-Men movie greenlit. He served as an executive producer. His wife, Laura Schuler Donner, produced most of the X-Men movies throughout the franchise. And those movies were sort of the catalyst for the modern comic book movie era. Like, we probably wouldn't have an MCU without Richard Donner. Richard Donner gave Kevin Feige his first real movie, job in the film industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We wouldn't have all of these great movies from Feige without the support and encouragement of Richard Donner in his career. And so I think that his contribution to film in general can never be understated. And this is an incredibly sad day for us that we've lost him.
Very well said. Joe, your thoughts on, because I know you were big on the Superman film.
Yeah. I grew up with all these movies too, and I loved all the movies, and not a lot of us get to leave the kind of legacy that he left behind. He'll forever be immortalized in his works, and nobody can take that away from him. The only thing we can hope for is that somebody picks up the mantle and runs with it, keeps that legacy going.
Yes, absolutely. I also just want to point out, too, and thank God I watched the John Campea show the other day, and I did not realize this. So, obviously, Dick Donner started off in television before he got involved in movies. He directed 5 episodes of The Twilight Zone, including the most famous one ever with William Shatner, Nightmare on 10,000 Feet.
Really?
That was Richard Donner directed that episode of William Shatner on the airplane.
That episode of The Twilight Zone is iconic, by the way.
No.
That episode, listen, every New Year's, I sit down for an entire day.
Yep.
And I watch The Twilight Zone. And my wife, she hates it. She's like, "Are you gonna sit here? Are you gonna watch this all day?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I am. It's The Twilight Zone. Like, what you mean?
Right?
Hell yeah, I'm gonna sit here and watch this. That's like on Christmas, you have to watch a Christmas movie. TBS is playing it for 24 hours. We're gonna watch it. And if I catch it halfway through, then I'm going to watch all the way to the halfway point. Like I'm going to watch the whole movie. Okay, like we're watching this. All right, this is tradition. Like you have to do it.
Yeah, and another thing too. Talk about range. Like he made one of the most. By the way, he directed The Omen, which was the first horror movie to win an Oscar.
Right.
And. He's able to do a horror movie like The Omen. By the way, the first Omen still holds up. The remake sucked. He did the first Omen, and then he does Superman. Basically, the first modern day great. Okay, Batman '66 doesn't count because that was just another episode. That was just a long episode of the TV show. He did the Superman the movie, the very first modern superhero movie. He goes from Omen to Superman to a childhood movie like The Goonies, and then sets the standard. He didn't invent it, but he set the standard for the buddy cop movies in Lethal Weapon. So the fact that he can do a Lethal Weapon, a Goonies, an Omen, and Superman blows my damn mind. And by the way, for those who haven't already, Mark and I, we've talked about it on our look back. You have to watch the Donner cut of Superman 2. That's the best way to watch Superman 2. I'm not taking anything away from the Lester version. It's great. I think the Donner cut is better, with the exception of the ending. The entire Donner cut it's more dark, it's more serious, it makes more sense, and the action is much better. And of course, Marlon Brando is actually in the Donner cut of Superman 2. So
right. The majority of Superman 2 was actually filmed before Superman 1.
Yeah.
So it was originally, we talked about this in our Superman 2 look back. It was originally conceived as one film. They wanted to get the bigger, more, higher spectacle type stuff out of the way first. So they did a lot of the Superman 2 stuff ahead of the stuff that came in Superman 1. And it wasn't until, sort of the after the release of the first, right? It wasn't until like what I'm talking about is like the first Superman movie. Like
Yeah.
when that first came out and they were finishing up like certain parts of Superman 2, that he had a falling out with the Salkinds and left that project.
Yeah.
But the majority of Superman 2 that we know is actually him, but he didn't because he didn't want to share credit with Richard Lester. He just told him, you can just have credit for this. But a lot of that movie is him.
It's basically the Snyder Cut before the Snyder Cut, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's all I got. I mean, I see everyone's, I see some stuff there in the chat there. So, hey, hold on. So he did the Lost Boys too. I thought that was Schumacher.
Yeah, I thought that was Schumacher.
Yeah. So no, I thought because Paul said that Lost Boys was.
The Lost Boys?
I thought that was Schumacher.
I think they're just talking about the soundtrack. He said the Lost Boys soundtrack, right? I think they're just on like a soundtrack conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty much all I got on Richard Donner. I mean, I think some one of you guys mentioned Free Willy earlier. I mean, that was a good one.
I'm just looking in the chat right now, and I'm seeing someone saying that they had the Lethal Weapon sequels on VHS, and God do I feel old, because that's how I saw pretty much the vast majority of the Lethal Weapon movies was on VHS.
I saw them all in the theater, so that's how old I am.
Yeah, I want to say I saw maybe like one or two of them, some of the later ones in the theaters, but like the first couple of them, I saw them on VHS.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me, because he did Lethal Weapon 4, and that was really Jet Li's big break in America.
Yes,
Right.
it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah. I mean,
did he just dodge a bullet? I think so. Maybe we should ask him.
One fact, if I'm not mistaken, Mark, back me up on this, but in Lethal Weapon 4, they told Jet Li, "Hey, you need to slow down," and they actually slowed down the camera because he was, moving so fast they couldn't really capture the moves the way they wanted to, so they had to slow down the camera, and they told Jet Li, like, yo, take it down a notch.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise
I believe that.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise
I
me at
believe
all.
that.
So yeah, I mean, so this guy, so we got comic book movies from this guy, X-Men and Superman, you name it. We got Jet Li from him. We got buddy cops from him. Everything just comes back to Richard. And of course, again, I want to reiterate, Twilight Zone. He did some of the best ones, and yeah, dude, it's just talk about a life well lived. Not a single dud in his career, really.
Right.
Not that I can think of. I mean, it's kind of crazy, Some of us wish that we could live and leave half of a legacy like that, right? Like some of us hope that we can just do one thing that'll be remembered. I mean, imagine doing so much in your life that we could sit here, right, and legitimately talk about his body of work for an entire episode of your show. We could legit sit here and talk about this man's entire body of work and probably not get bored doing it. That says a lot about how important of a person he was, how much of a fixture he is in cinema just itself, but also in all these different genres of cinema. It's just kind of amazing when you think of it like that, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I say it's sad that we lose such an iconic figure, but we got a lot of life to celebrate. We got a lot of life.
I agree.
We got a lot of his life to celebrate. So I mean, good on him. And I'm thankful that he was able to give us some of these things that we've been able to enjoy as nerds. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And one more thing too is I saw there was some footage going around on Twitter. They were showing some of the behind the scenes footage of the filming of Superman and some other movies he did, and he was easy to work with. He was really good towards his fellow co-stars and everything too. It's just nice to know that he treated the actors and actresses fairly, because. And I'm not trying to dog on I'm just gonna be Stanley Kubrick was not easy to work with, and he was god awful to Shelley Duvall in The Shining. He treated her bad, and made her do 100 takes on purpose just to get under her skin. we never heard anything like that about Richard Donner. Like Richard Donner was like probably the ones that people wanted to work with because he was, easygoing. It was just nice to see like some of the footage that was shown of, him interacting with the cast. And Gene Hackman, who's been in retirement for well over a decade now, he came out and said like, one of my favorite moments with Richard Donner was the mustache. Mark, the mustache story or whatever. Where
No, I don't know that one.
Oh,
Go
okay.
ahead.
So apparently Gene Hackman was talking about like he had a mustache. Gene Hackman had a mustache and did not want to shave it. And he said, well, Richard Donner said to him, well, hey, if you shave your mustache, I'll shave my mustache. And it turned out, I guess, Richard was wearing a fake mustache the whole time and clowned him. So it's just kind of funny to know that, hey, it's just there are stories like that just puts a smile on your face. And then Gene Hackman, like I said, he came out. He's been retired now. I guess he's been doing books for the last number of years now, but he finally came out of the limelight to just share his thoughts on working with Richard Donner, and it was cool. It was kind of a cool little story there.
Right.
All right, so yeah, I'm glad we got to go around talk a little Richard Donner here. So Pest, since this is our guest, man, name some of you mentioned Deadpool as one of your favorite comic characters. What other comic characters? What other movies are you into? Name some of your favorite movies and stuff.
It's actually really funny that your opening stinger involves Scott Pilgrim versus the World. It's one of my favorite movies.
Yes.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So when Scott Pilgrim versus the World came out, I went to the movie theaters by myself to go see it. I remembered I had a roommate who at the time hated everything. Like this guy, like I'd be like, "Hey man, did you see this movie?" And he's like, "Yeah, I saw it. It wasn't that good." And I'm like, "What? It was so good." Right. And I remember after it finished, I walked out and I actually saw him. We had went to the same movie, but we didn't know. And I saw him and I was like, "Hey man, all right, what'd you think of that?" I swear to God, if you tell me you hate it, we're fighting in the parking lot. He was like, "Actually, I really enjoyed that movie." And I was like, "Bro, that was one of the best movies I think I've ever seen. I'm going to go buy another ticket." And I literally bought another ticket right then and there and waited in the parking lot for the next showing that I could go into started. I watched that movie twice the day I saw it because I loved it so much. So Scott Pilgrim is like without question one of my favorite movies. I have a weird I don't know, palette when it comes to movies because I like a lot of different things. Anything Mel Brooks,
yes.
Strap me in. Anything Mel Brooks. Blazing Saddles is amazing. History of the World Part 1. High Anxiety was great. Life Stinks was great. Robin Hood Men in Tights. I like anything Mel Brooks is fantastic. I really love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is just amazing. I think Kevin Feige is a genius with the way that he oversees all these projects and makes sure that everything touches each other. It kind of blows my mind and this is funny because I was thinking about this yesterday. It's so funny how, and I don't know, I'm not going to really like say anything about Loki's episode yesterday because some people may not have seen it, but it's right there. Okay, you should have watched it by now. But it blows my mind the way that they've made the Marvel Cinematic Universe legit be a part of the multiverse, wherein it's not the comic books, right? This is another timeline. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is another timeline that occasionally intertwines with a whole bunch of these comic book universes, and I think that's so genius. I think it's so genius because it explains why not every story is told the way we read it in the comic books, because this is a different universe. So I think that's amazing. Probably my favorite Marvel movie so far was Thor Ragnarok. I thought that was amazing.
Really?
I love Thor Ragnarok. I think Thor Ragnarok is so much fun. I hated every other Thor movie. I hated
Really? You didn't like the first one?
I hated the Thor movies. I did not like them, but I watched them. But like, yeah, if the first two Thor movies are playing, I'm okay. I don't need to watch that. But if Ragnarok's playing,
I've never heard anyone say that.
If Ragnarok's playing, I'm watching it. If Guardians of the Galaxy 1 or 2 is, I'm watching that. Okay. So like, yeah, I didn't like the first two Thor movies. I didn't hate them, but like the Captain America movies were kind of
What?
Really?
Yeah,
I'm loving
You didn't
this
like
right
Winter
now.
Soldier?
Oh my gosh.
Captain America movies were They were
I love Winter
okay.
Soldier. I think the first Captain America movie is whatever. I love Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier was cool. I'm not saying that. Listen, I'm not saying that they were bad. Just in my opinion,
it wasn't your cup of tea.
Yeah.
I've never been super big into Captain America anyway. Captain America is very bland for me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Mark's like, ooh, I'm gonna kill this guy.
Like fighting words.
I'm sorry. When I was a kid, Wolverine was everything. Okay.
Yeah, I back it.
That's Wolverine's my dude.
Wolverine was everything when I was a kid. I never really cared about Captain America. Like, Captain America.
Okay.
Cool,
I want to redeem yourself real quick just to get back on Mark's good side. What'd you think of Logan?
Logan was very well done.
Thank you.
I thought Logan was very good. I was satisfied with the way they told the story, and I did not feel cheated. Like, I went into Logan knowing what was going to happen. Like, all right, like I know what's going to happen here. How are they going to do it?
Right.
Because there's 1,000 different ways to kill Wolverine. Right? Not really, but kind of, sort of.
Couple ways.
There's more than one way for us to end Wolverine. How are they going to do it? I walked away satisfied. I walked away like, it kind of hurt my heart. Like, man, that sucks.
I cried. I cried at
the
end. Like, that was hard for me because keep in mind, so I'm 30. I'm gonna be 35 this year. So like. The first X-Men movie came out when I was in middle school. So basically my entire teenage and adult life, like, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine was it for me because I'm not big on comics like Mark is, but I grew up with the 90s X-Men cartoon. I was obsessed with that. So I was primed and ready for the X-Men movies.
That
and
90s X-Men cartoon.
Hugh Jackman was just so perfect, and like I knew, like you said, like I went into the theater knowing he was gonna die. The trailer pretty much hinted that this is it, and I knew it was gonna happen. But when it happened, and and same with Xavier dying too. It just, oh man, it just my heart collapsed, and it's like, wow, this is really the end. Like, this is like end of a 20-year journey that, like,
right,
you know.
Yeah, it's kind of like Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. Like, that one hurt. That one hurt a lot.
Definitely.
I was going to ask if I was the only Iron Man fanboy in the group.
I mean, no. Listen, Iron Man is cool. Iron Man is cool, and I have no issues with Iron Man. But it was more of Robert Downey Jr.'s depiction of Iron Man that made me hurt, because it was like, we're not gonna get any more of this. Like, this.
Yeah, nobody else can really do it the way he did.
No. And listen. Let me tell you something. My wife is not a comic book person. Okay, every time we watch a comic book movie, I have to explain to her what's gonna happen, right? Or I have to like kind of give her like the details. Okay, this is what this movie is gonna be about. When Iron Man dies, my wife cries like a baby. It doesn't matter. It does not matter how many times she sees it. When Tony Stark dies, my wife is just blubbering. And I'll never forget when we watched this in theater, there was some lady, like, my wife was sitting over here. There was some lady sitting next to me, and she was crying like an infant. Okay? Yeah. Like, and I looked over at her and I said, "It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay." It's not. I was like, "Oh, hey man, listen, they did what they said to do, which was tug on our heartstrings and make us hurt."
Absolutely.
Because that hurt a lot. That really hurt.
So
Yeah,
the biggest thing that hit me and my family was when they're showing the hologram of him and he leans over and says, "I love you 3000."
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna tell you the thing that made me I thinking about it, I kind of get goosebumps and I get the feels. But you hungry? Yeah, what do you want?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Cheeseburgers.
All the cheeseburgers. Yo, cheeseburgers. Oh my God. Oh,
some of the best like non-verbal acting that I've seen from Jon Favreau. Like you can see him like choking back tears. He's like thinking about it, and he's like, "Yeah, your dad liked cheeseburgers." And that moment, I was like, "Hold it in."
Oh my God! Like thinking about it makes me kind of well up a bit because Because here's the reason why, and I'm gonna I guess screw it, I'll expose myself a little bit. My dad passed away back in 2016, right? 2017, I'm sorry. And so anything with a dad dying gets me, right?
Yeah.
Anything with a dad dying, when oh my God, I'm brain farting his name, but Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh my God, why can't I think of? Huh?
Chris Pratt?
No, not Chris Pratt. The old boy with the arrow that whistles. God, I can't think of his name.
Groot?
The with the mohawk and he whistles. The arrow kills all.
Oh, Yondu.
Yondu, thank you. When Yondu died and he was like, "I'm your pappy."
Right.
Yo, I was in the movie theater and I was like, and my wife was like rubbing me because my wife knows that dad's dying is a thing for me. And when that happened, I was like, "Oh no, he just met his dad and he's dead."
Yeah.
So that cheeseburger scene, it gets me every time. Every time.
The scene, the one scene for me from any like comic book movie is in Logan at the very end after she gives the eulogy, which is really just she's like saying the lines from that movie Shane. Mm-hmm. Like that starts it for me. But then when she takes the cross that's in the ground, picks it up and makes an X out of it and puts it back and then walks away, that just gets every time. I've seen that movie probably 10 times, and every time she does that, I'm just like, I can't take it.
Listen, my Mount Rushmore of comic book movies definitely has Logan on it. Just saying. The other three, well, you can come at me, but the other three have something to do with Batman. So it'd be like Dark Knight is another one. I really love the Snyder Cut, and I would. And Joker, because I was blown away by
Joker's great.
You know what? So I offended Mark. I might as well offend Jay.
Go for it.
I am sorely disappointed with the DC universe. I'm sorely disappointed.
Yeah, you're cutting him to the quick right here.
I am sorely disappointed with it. Okay, I have not seen the Snyder Cut yet. I am going to watch it, but I just don't have 16 hours to sit down and watch a movie.
Right.
But Pest, it's got 6 chapters, so you can kind of, pause and come back to it because it is divided into chapters.
So that's kind of the only thing that I haven't seen. The only recent movies from the DC universe, because I don't count Joker.
Yeah, that's Elseworlds.
Yeah, it's a standalone. Yeah. But the Joker was great. I love the Joker. He's one of my favorite villains. But the only movie from the recent DC universe that I was like, that was pretty good, was Shazam.
Yeah, Shazam was good.
Thank you. I'm glad you like Shazam.
Everything else has been whack in my opinion. Like everything else is Justice League, the non-Snyder Cut Justice League.
Yes.
Throw it in the garbage, yo.
Yeah.
I literally broke my copy on one of our videos. By the way, Snyder Cut's finally coming to 4K in September. Thank God.
Yeah, that was terrible. Batman versus Superman. I was so excited for it. That was terrible.
I disagree, but that's okay.
I'm sorry. I know everybody is all over this Wonder Woman thing. The Wonder Woman movies were trash. Okay,
Wow.
The first one was really good.
No, the first one was trash too.
Wow.
The first Wonder Woman movie.
You
was
sure you're a
trash
nerd, man?
too. Yes, I am.
He's in the right
first-
place. This is NerdCage. We're raging. I love it.
The first Wonder Woman movie was subpar. Everybody was like, "Oh, this movie is so good. Oh, it's the greatest, it's the best movie to come out." And I watched it, and I was like, I mean, it was alright. I wasn't anything. I mean,
I think these movies would stand up better if they weren't overshadowed by the cloud that is Marvel.
And you know what? Maybe you're correct, Joe. Maybe you're correct. But like I don't know. I watch these movies and I'm just like I'm not impressed. The Wonder Woman. What was the stupid ass last one? Wonder Woman
1984.
1915. That shit was terrible, yo. That was a bad movie. It was a bad movie. And the guy that the main villain, I love him from Mandalorian. I think he's great. I think he's great. But he was just it was like hey, you know what? It was like, hey, you know what? You've been playing a serious character for a very long time. I want you to be goofy as fuck for no reason. Just be goofy and zany for no reason. You get a wish. Your wish is granted. It's like, what is this guy doing?
Right.
What is this guy doing?
You need to do movie reviews. You need to start like another channel.
You would be great doing reviews.
Pest movie PTA movie reviews.
I do too much content creation. But I'm sorry.
You're cracking me up. I may not agree with you, but you're killing me. I'm dying.
It was just everything DC's touched so far has just been bad, except for Shazam. Shazam was done well.
Okay, I can agree with that.
I want to see what they do with Black Adam. I'm super excited about Black Adam.
Black Adam's almost finished filming. I think they said one more week of filming.
I'm excited about that. Listen, let's not make anything else Justice League. Let's not try to make a connected universe. Let's not do that, okay? Marvel's got the market cornered on that. You can't do it. It's just don't do it. Just make standalones. Make standalones, and if you want to tie in some stuff here and there, or if you want to do
what Shazam did, they briefly mentioned BVS.
Briefly, Superman does exist here. Like that, we know. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want, but like okay, all right. I would like to touch on a plot hole. This plot hole has always bothered me. Okay,
go for it.
So Wonder Woman 1970. Who gives a shit, right?
I told you, Mark. I warned you about him.
Yeah.
There is a global level event that happens, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Where everyone gets a wish, but it's a monkey's paw, so the whole world is turning to shit, right?
Right.
This is what's happened, and the entire fucking world knows about this, okay? So that means that the entire fucking world knows about Wonder Woman because Wonder Woman somehow talks to all of us and tells us to renounce our wish, which we do. Okay.
Right.
Okay, I'll buy it.
That by itself is a problem.
Okay, but fine.
Yeah.
But then Batman and Superman are fighting each other, and Doomsday shows up and starts kicking people's ass, and Wonder Woman shows up, and Batman nor Superman knows who Wonder Woman is, but the entire world was in danger 25 years ago.
Right.
Y'all don't know about that? Like, wait, what? Is anybody paying attention to this?
Exactly.
Okay.
Is anybody paying attention?
Here's what I really think because Zack Snyder fully established, and so did the first Wonder Woman movie, is that she was hiding for 100 years. And she didn't come out because Doomsday was the reason why she came out of her hiding. Wonder Woman 84 doesn't tie in with what Snyder established. And the funny thing is, Snyder and his wife were producers on Wonder Woman 84. So I'm beginning to wonder if Wonder Woman 84 is even canon because...
It can't be.
There's no way. I think
it can't because it doesn't make sense to be canon. There's no way it can be.
That's what I'm saying. There's no way it can be canon. Not to mention the one thing that I argued with Mark about, and you haven't brought it up, is the fact that she can fly. She couldn't fly in BVS or in the Snyder Cut. She didn't fly.
She flew in the Snyder Cut. What are you talking about?
She didn't
towards
fly.
the end. Yeah, towards the end in that final battle, there's even like a slow motion
She
scene of her flying.
And spoiler alert, she jumped and chopped his head off, but she wasn't flying. She jumped and she cut the head off. She didn't fly.
I'm pretty sure I can find a scene where she's flying.
She did not fly in BVS or Snyder Cut. She just could jump really far and this, and that. She never flew. But in Wonder Woman 84, she flew, which was a dumb explanation too. Whatever. But I can. There's some parts of Wonder Woman 84 I really liked, and there's some parts I didn't like. I think the movie's all right, but I just feel like it's not canon to what Snyder established.
How controversial am I allowed to get in the nerd cage?
Go for it. Go balls deep, man. I want to hear your hot takes.
Okay, great. Are we not going to talk about the fact that Wonder Woman kind of had non-consensual sex with a guy the whole fucking movie, yo?
Yeah, that's true.
Like the entire movie, she had non-consensual sex with a guy. And listen, I'm not one of these MGTOW guys. I'm not one of these red pill assholes, okay? I'm not one of these fucking what the hell are these damn weirdos called? Incel. I'm not one of these guys, okay? I'm not, okay? All right, I support #MeToo and all that shit. All right, I support all of it. Okay, but so I don't want to sound like the guy that's whatever. But like, let's just call a spade. Okay, the entire movie she had non-consensual sex with a dude. Okay, just because his body was inhabited by someone else, she was having non-consensual sex with a dude the entire fucking
definitely.
movie. And we're supposed to just be cool with that, like, oh yeah, sure, that makes sense. Yeah. Fuck some other guy's body when he doesn't have any control to give you consent to fuck it. Like, yeah, that's cool because you're Wonder Woman. Like, bro, listen, I don't know if people thought this shit out all the way.
They didn't. Because I mean, and, in addition to that, I mean, just the fact, even if you took the sex out of it, right? This is a guy who had a life, who probably had a family, who had a job, who had friends. Oh, none of these people came looking for him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one was wondering where he was at, and like, no one came by his house, called him, nothing.
Did you see this man's house and this man's wardrobe? He got a good ass job, yo.
For sure.
All right,
he had a good job.
This is the 80s we're talking about, right? This is the 80s, right? I don't fucking know. This is the 80s that we're talking about. All right, this dude had a nice ass house with all kinds of different genres of clothes, okay? No one said, excuse me, this message is for Bob. Where the fuck are you? There was an important meeting this week. Like, no one did that? No one at all. Listen, again, I don't think people thought this stuff out.
No.
And so as I watch this movie, I'm thinking about it and I'm like, yo, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I listen, I love Batman movies. The Joker is my favorite villain. Yep. Okay. I've loved Superman movies. I'm all about the Flash. Think the Flash is cool. Green Lantern. Somebody's got to do something to make a good Green Lantern, please. I'm all about Teen Titans and stuff like that. I'm not against DC at all. Yeah. But like the people who are making their movies need to just stop. Like just stop doing it. Sell the IP to someone else and let them try. Because whatever y'all doing sucks. It's bad, and they just need to stop.
Okay.
So there's my rant about DC.
That's see, to me, DC's the anti-Marvel. Marvel. I'm sorry, I have to say it. And I just watched Black Widow today, by the way. Marvel's movies come out of an assembly line. They're I cannot talk. They have a formula to them.
Yeah.
And it works and it sells, but they're all the damn same. The same. Yeah. They had all the same arc, the same stupid jokes, this, and that. I just appreciate DC does something different. They go the darker route. They're the anti-Marvel, especially when Snyder had his hands on it. So
yeah, sure. Let's make Lex Luthor the Joker's distant cousin. Sure, yeah, let's do that. Let's use Lex Luger's DNA to make the monster that's supposed to be the scariest monster in the world. He came from that guy.
I like this guy. And we need to have him on board.
And then let's also do this. Let's also do this. How many Superman movies have we done so far? 2. They both did well. They did. Let's kill this son of a bitch now. Like, yeah, sure. And then let's have all of the villains. I mean, let's have all of the other heroes not be there for this. For what's the big. Okay, only a few of us were alive.
Apply what you just said to Iron Man 3.
That held weight. Did you not see how the bonds had been built between Iron Man and every other hero in Marvel at that point in time, so that death had meaning? The way Iron Man's death was done.
Iron Man 3. I'm talking about the movie Iron Man 3. Everything you just said. Where was the Avengers when Tony was dealing with his shit in the third Iron Man movie, which was right after the Avengers? I'm just saying.
Sure. Yes, sure.
You can defend that, though. You can say that, like, each one of them, was dealing with their own thing around that time. Like, Winter Soldier was probably happening around the same time as Iron Man 3.
Right.
So, and they do that in the comics, too, right? Yeah. Like, all these heroes have their own solo adventures. They're not together all the time,
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's how I've always explained it away.
Superman's death should have been treated the same way Tony Stark's death was treated, because that is an important event. Okay, yeah. I remember when the Death of Superman comic book dropped. Okay,
yep.
And here's the deal. Okay, this is the 90s. The entire fucking world stopped over a comic book. This is we're not even talking about a movie, okay? They were talking about this shit on the 10 o'clock news. Superman dies in the comic book, and it's like this. I mean, like a bank was robbed, down the street. Fuck that bank. Superman's dead. Like that's how big of a moment this was in a comic book.
Right.
But we're going to make a couple of Superman movies, and then we're going to kill him right away. Like why?
Right.
Build the Justice League up first, because when Superman died, every hero from every corner of the DC universe was there crying like
mourning. Yeah.
Superman's dead. What the fuck
even
are we going to do now? There was
even Lex Luthor.
There.
Yeah.
There were villains there like Superman's dead. What the fuck do we do now? He was the best of us and he's dead? Oh shit. Like and then on top of that, you have 5 other stories that you can tell with the death of Superman, right? And you're not going to tell those stories. We're just gonna bring him back arbitrarily.
Yeah.
We're just gonna bring him back.
No reign of the Superman. No rebirth. Yeah,
Are you serious right now? Do y'all not want to make money? Because that's how you make money.
Yeah.
You've got 5 different stories you can tell just off of one person's death, and you choose not to do that? And now you can't redo it. Superman's death holds no fucking weight now because he already died once. We know he's coming back.
Well, they did kind of establish, like, at the very, very end of BVS that he was going to come back because you saw the dirt on the grave rise, so you knew he was going to come back. I will say this, dude. The Snyder Cut is miles better than what Joss Whedon did, and I feel like the Snyder Cut's better than. Come at me, I don't care. I think it's better than Man of Steel and BVS. So, when you get a moment, again, I know it's a 4-hour movie, but
yeah, I'll take a day off of work to watch that shit.
A lot, and it was,
I'm gonna have to take a whole day off and half the day the next day just so that I can get some sleep and recover from watching the Snyder Cut. Like, it's like doing a 24-hour stream trying to watch this fucking movie, man. It's so goddamn long.
You can kind of do it the way that I did it, which is, I mean, it's all broken in, like Jay said, it's broken into 6 parts. So I just treated it like a series because originally it was supposed to be released as a mini-series. So I just would watch a part, then stop, go do something else, come back, maybe watch another part, and then the next day watch another part, and I just treated it like it was intended to be. You know what I mean? And it was much easier to get through, and you can digest a lot more of what's happening in that version of the film, I guess you could say.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna watch it. I am going to watch it eventually. I don't care about spoilers. All right, but I am gonna watch it.
There's more added. I mean, it's still the kind of like the same result, but it's executed way different. All the other characters and the heroes are more fleshed out, and of course they did a much better job with Steppenwolf, and of course Darkseid is, even though he's not in the movie much, his presence is through the whole film. Like, they established Darkseid very well, and he was really well done.
Yeah, to me, I think that what makes the movie work is that it's kind of told from a different point of view than the Whedon cut. You know what I mean? Like, Zack Snyder put the emphasis on Cyborg, and he made the movie basically about his origin, and the story is essentially told from his point of view. You know, and I think that gave the story as a whole, gave it much more weight, gave it much more emotional impact. Yeah. And at the end of the day, I mean, I still don't love it. It's not a 10 out of 10 for me either. But if I compared that to like Joss Whedon's cut, I agree with Jay. It's like, it's light years better than that. It's a way better movie.
I'm gonna check it out. Check it out.
I just say, I'm not going to be upset if you don't like it, because we already established how you feel about the DCU. That's fine. I feel like it's worth your time to at least check it out. Whether if you like it or not, at the end of the day, I feel like it would be worth your time.
I definitely plan on checking it out. I definitely plan on watching it once I get the opportunity. I will watch it, because I've heard good things about it. I've heard that it's better, and I'm like, okay, I'm willing to give it a shot.
I know Fisk was on board. I know Fisk was on board about it too.
I saw Fisk was definitely on board. I'm going to check it out. I saw a lot of people on board, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it when I get the time. I'll watch it definitely, without question.
The way that I view Marvel and DC is, I think the Marvel movie format is clearly better, but DC, thanks to Warner Brothers, I think has video games more on lock.
Yes.
With like Injustice and Batman. Marvel's only got really Spider-Man, and that's it. The rest of them are kind of flop.
Yeah. I mean, like the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games were great.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, for their time,
yes, they were.
They were great, and I wish that they would like do more of that.
Well, they did Ultimate Alliance 3, but I haven't played it yet. But all I heard was the other two were better, were much better. Man, I think X-Men Legends was better than Ultimate Alliance. That's just me. I mean, they're the same game. It's the same format, but I thought...
No, X-Men Legends was...
You didn't like X-Men Legends?
I mean, it was okay.
I
liked Ultimate Alliance better. Matter of fact, I'm going to probably do a full playthrough of the first two on my Twitch channel at some point.
Link in the description, people. PTA Twitch.
Link is in there. I will probably do a playthrough of those games at some point, because I enjoyed them that much. Those games were great. I love those games. I thought they were fun as hell. So I don't know if I can say X-Men Legends was better than them. I don't know.
I've always been an X-Men guy, and I feel like that the X-Men Legends, and I really thought Age of Apocalypse, X-Men Legends 2, Age of Apocalypse was freaking awesome too. Like, I don't know. I thought those games were fleshed out really well. And then Ultimate Alliance, and then Ultimate Alliance 2 was based off of Civil War. But yeah, I didn't get around to the third one. It's on the Switch too.
Screw all that. The Sega Genesis X-Men games are the best X-Men games ever made.
Oh, those were great. Yeah.
The Sega Genesis X-Men games were the truth. Okay, those were the best X-Men games to ever come out. I've still played those games. I have them on a Raspberry Pi, and every now and then I'll plug that bad boy up and I'll play those X-Men games with some other old school games. Those X-Men games were it. And then better than those two was the original 4-player X-Men arcade game.
Which is they have on the arcade 1-up machine.
They do.
I want to get it, but I had the Mortal Kombat arcade 1-up machine, but the one I want next, because I live in an apartment, I only got so much room for it. The next arcade 1-up machine I want is NBA Jam. So there's no way I have to get NBA Jam, and then if I have room, maybe I'll get either Ninja Turtles or X-Men. But NBA Jam, oh my God.
You know, one of these days I'm gonna have to save up for this, but I'm going to actually get an arcade cabinet built to put my Raspberry Pi in, so that I can just play the games on the like. And I was actually looking at, it's kind of expensive to get an arcade cabinet built. You're looking at like at least $3,000 minimum.
Wow.
But
people on Etsy, if you go to Etsy, people make them on Etsy.
Oh, do they? Yeah. I'm gonna have to look into getting an actual cabinet that I can put. Well, because I've got to get my basement finished. My basement is unfinished, but once I get it finished, I'm gonna have the whole little man cave down there, sports bar, whole 9 yards, and I would love to put an arcade cabinet down there that I can just plug the Raspberry Pi into and just play my games there. That'd be great.
Yeah, and also another question, because I know you're a football guy, and I know you talk a lot of Madden and stuff like that. My favorite football game of all time, I feel like this does not get enough love, and I feel like I'm hoping that Arcade 1-Up finds a way to bring it in. Are you an NFL Blitz fan?
I knew that's where you were going. NFL Blitz was a great game.
Yes.
NFL Blitz was a great game. We played the shit out of NFL Blitz in the arcade, and then they had NFL Blitz on Nintendo 64. We played it on Nintendo 64 when we were kids. NFL Blitz was great. I mean, because it's in that same NBA Jam vein.
It was the same makers. It was Midway.
It's just a wacky, arcadey, fun game to play. It's not serious.
No
you just
rules.
have a good time. Yeah, NFL Blitz was a great game.
Be honest, Jay, you liked it because it had an MK crossover.
Actually, it did. So in NFL Blitz 2000, if you typed in the code, you could play as Raiden and Shinnok, which I thought was a nice little touch. But yeah, dude, NFL Blitz. I mean, we used to host parties at my house playing NFL Blitz, especially when you have 4 players playing NFL Blitz.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it can be chaotic. But yeah, I'm hoping that Arcade 1-Up does an NFL Blitz machine. That's like the one I will like pull money out of my savings account to buy. Like, I want NFL Blitz Arcade 1-Up machine. Oh my God, needs to happen.
You know, it's funny because today on my Twitch stream, shameless self promotion part 2, I actually was playing SNK 40th Anniversary Collection, and I was playing Akari Warriors, and I'm going to probably play POW. Nice. I don't know if y'all remember POW arcade game, but that was one of my favorite games. I used to play it a shitload on the Nintendo, but it was also in the arcades. Yeah. And I love those. I love all those old school arcade games. Those games were so much fun, even though it was a scam. I had to explain this to some of the younger viewers in my Twitch stream that arcade machines are scams. Like, they're fucking scams, okay? Yeah. They're the only design they have is to make you put another quarter in. All right. So I was playing one game, and I was on like the 3rd level, and the difficulty spike just like it was bad. And thankfully I can continue for free, right? Because it's on PlayStation. I'm playing it on console. But you can tell like that difficulty spike where they're like, all right. Yeah. Now we're getting ready to make you give us more quarters, motherfucker. I hope you got more quarters because you're gonna need them.
One of my favorite arcade games ever, King of the Monsters.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Obviously the Ninja Turtles one we were kind of mentioning, but obviously Mark, everybody here in the chat, Mortal Kombat's been my. You can't tell. But yeah, Mortal Kombat's always been my thing. So are you a Mortal Kombat fan, Pest, or?
I do enjoy Mortal Kombat. I'm not good at these new age fighting games because I'm just not good at linking combos together. I'm so used to playing the old way where you just do a million fireballs, or you threw Scorpion spear, pulled him, uppercut him. That was
Jay knows I'm a button masher.
Listen,
I get combos to come out on luck.
I'm a button masher too, man. I'll mash it. Now, if we're playing like Tekken, I know how to play Tekken. I know how to play like Virtua Fighter. But like these newer fighting games, I just can't. I can't do combos that well.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Like I love Mortal Kombat 11, but it's not my favorite Mortal Kombat game. I still like the older ones. Mortal Kombat 2 is my favorite of all time.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat 2 or Mortal Kombat 3.
Two, and then 3 for me.
Yeah.
And then of course, Killer Instinct.
Yeah, you want our deep takes on it? We did do a whole video on it.
Yeah, we ranked all the
them
Mortal
all.
Kombat games. Yeah, good plug, Joe. We ranked all the Mortal Kombat games. That was a lot of fun to do. We just recently did the Zelda rankings, and now our Mario rankings videos in the oven as we speak. I hope to have it out this month.
I already know the number 1 game. I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you what the best Mario game is.
Go for it. What's the best Mario game?
Super Mario RPG. That's the best Mario game.
I'll say this. That's the
best Mario game ever made. Was Mario RPG.
I love that game. That game made the list. I will say it did make the list.
Best Mario game ever made, in my opinion, is Mario RPG. So much fun. So much fun.
Wow, man, I feel like not enough people know about that game because it came at the end of the SNES life cycle. The N64 was already out. But yeah, that was the only time Squaresoft and Nintendo teamed up.
Yeah, listen, I told you, I'm a nerd. I am a big ass nerd. I just don't look like one. I'm a big ass nerd.
Fit right in the cage.
I know all the nerd shit. I know all of it.
We gotta do a Rage in the Cage with this guy. We need to bring back Pest,
without a doubt.
And we gotta
I feel like we just had one
though. So Rage in the Cage is where we have a hot take.
Shane Smithers wants to know if any of us have played the Deadpool game from 2013.
Of course. Yes. Excuse me. Yes. Yes. Amazing. Gun katas. Thank you very much. Yeah, of course. I bought it. I bought it as soon as it came out. I was probably one of the first people to buy it. Love that game.
The game that references chimichangas, I'm there.
Yeah.
Yo, Nate Talks Football's in the house. Thanks, Giants Nation.
Hey, what's going on, Nate? Listen. My favorite part of that game is where you can slap Wolverine for 15 minutes. I just love it. You slap Wolverine for 15 minutes. That's just hilarious to me. I don't know why. That part was just so funny. I don't know. This is for making me love you.
Yo, real quick, while we're on Deadpool, what are your thoughts about Deadpool 3 coming out, or whatever the hell they have planned for it?
I don't give a shit how many Deadpool movies they make. I'm going to watch all of them in theaters. Okay.
Good call.
Listen, the Deadpool franchise could turn into the fucking Fast and Furious fucking franchise, okay? And Deadpool could be standing there and they'd be like, Deadpool, you shouldn't go and fight the Juggernaut. He can kill you. And he's like, I'm not worried about Deadpool. I got family, okay? I'm good. I'm good. I'll be like, yeah, Deadpool family, bitch. Like, they can make as many Deadpool movies as they want. I'm going to see all of them. So the first Deadpool movie, in my opinion, is my favorite superhero movie of all time. Right. Okay, but I'm biased because I love Deadpool. He's my favorite character. Deadpool 2, I thought Deadpool 2 was good, right? But it was not as good as Deadpool 1, in my opinion.
Right.
But there were so many good things in Deadpool 2. It was so many good things.
Yeah, it felt like an X-Men movie, and plus Josh Brolin as
great.
Yes.
Right.
As, what's his name? Cable.
Yeah, Cable. Yeah. It was very good. It was very good. What I would like, and Marvel, you can steal this from me because I've always thought that this would be the greatest Deadpool joke ever. Okay, so Deadpool needs to be a part of a regular PG-13 movie, right? A PG-13 Marvel movie, and the entire movie he should be trying to say fuck. Okay, the entire movie, he should be trying to say fuck, and then at just like the most opportune time to say fuck, someone else does it, and he's like, "That was mine." We can only say it once.
That's a great idea.
Disney, are you listening?
That's a great idea.
I personally think that would be a hilarious running joke in a movie that's PG-13 that Deadpool is in. Yeah. You get one fucking PG-13. Deadpool knows it, and he's always like, holy, this isn't a good time to use that word. I'm gonna wait until later. And at some point at the perfect time, somebody else goes, oh fuck, and then Deadpool's like, what? That's mine. So if anybody from Disney hears this, if anybody from Disney is listening, or anybody from Marvel, you can have that one, okay? Because we all know where it came from. It was my idea.
If they're watching, I'm absolutely flattered if they're watching. Or if they're listening, because we're going to make this a podcast.
So speaking of PG-13, what's your over-under that we're going to see Deadpool in either Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man No Way Home, or Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness? Under. I don't think we're going to see Deadpool. I think that we are going to have to introduce mutants before we introduce Deadpool. I think mutants need to be there before Deadpool is there. Like, they have to figure out a way to incorporate the X-Men.
That's what I'm like wondering how the hell they're going to do, because I feel like it's a little early. I feel like it needs to be separate from the current.
I mean, I think it needs to stay separate too.
To be fair, if I remember correctly, Deadpool was introduced as a Spider-Man villain, so it could tie into Spider-Man.
Right.
But his backstory is tied into the X-Men. And yeah, we don't need to go into his backstory. We all know who Deadpool is at this point.
Right.
He can even reference that because, Deadpool can kind of do whatever he wants and reference the fact that, well, you don't need an origin story. I've had 2 movies already. Like, he can do that. I don't know if Deadpool is going to show up just yet. I'm not expecting him to. If he does, great. I would love it. But I don't know if we're going to get there yet. And you guys said the X-Men should be separate from Marvel?
Yeah,
it can't
here's
be.
my take on it.
It's too complicated.
It's just because the X-Men story of mutants spawns ages. They can't just say, in the current MCU timeline, they can't just be like, oh, mutants exist now. So it needs to be a separate continuity, in my opinion. I just don't think... I feel like X-Men's a broad enough universe where they don't need Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, and so on and so forth.
I mean, they could keep it separate, but it still be a part of the MCU. So that way...
In a separate universe, yeah.
There's some really good stories that can be told. There's some I would love to see X-Men versus the Avengers. Did any of y'all get to read that comic book?
I'm sure this guy did. Mark, I'm sure did.
I haven't.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
I'm sure Paul Tackett is. If he's in the chat, I'm sure that he's read it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got his arsenal. He's got his arsenal, Mark. I'm telling you, he's in the right place today.
Yeah. I think I let my cousin borrow it. I had it, and I think my cousin might have it because he saw it and was like, "Yo, is this good?" And I was like, "It's fucking amazing. You should read it." These are just the ones that I have out. I got like Deadpool illustrated. If y'all, I don't know if you guys have read Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. Oh my God, this is a good story. This story is fantastic, and that's just a Comic-Con book. I'm a nerd. That's Tekken. That's
Dude,
Tekken.
you're like I said, you are in the right place, man. All right, so I respect everybody's time, so we'll wrap up here in a few minutes. This is getting close to 9:30. I just want to say that first and foremost, Pest, thanks for spending the time off your busy schedule for being with us today.
This is great. You guys need a 4th member?
You are absolutely welcome back.
You can join us anytime, man.
We definitely want you back.
I listen. I don't get many opportunities to nerd out, except for at work, because I'm in IT. I'm a computer guy, right? Yeah. So I work around nothing but nerds. Even though all of this year I've been teleworking, so I work from home now. And I miss interacting and talking about comic book shit with all of the other fucking nerds that I work with. So I don't get to do this very often where I can just nerd out with other nerds. This is fun.
Right.
I really enjoyed this.
I'm so glad you did. Yeah, like I said, we'll have when we have you back, we're gonna have to do some kind of hot take with Rage in the Cage. Put you in the fighting cage with us. And we definitely got to talk some rap music too, because we didn't get to talk.
Oh yeah, we didn't even
music.
Touch.
That's okay.
All right.
That's all right. We want to leave something to be desired for you to come back. So we will definitely.
Absolutely.
But real quick, before we went on air, Joe and I, we'll keep the spoiler frame. We will put up me, Mark, and I will put a rapid review up. We did catch Black Widow today, right before we went on air. So I'll let Joe, because I feel like I'm gonna crap on this movie. So Joe, go ahead, give your general spoiler free. What is your general consensus of Black Widow?
It ties up a lot of loose ends. So anything you were wondering about, it's going to tell you about. And it does hold up in the MCU to the rest of the movies. I mean, it's still got the flash and the action that all the other movies have, and it delves a little more into Black Widow's family history. So if you were wondering who her parents are or who her siblings are or anything like that, you get that showcased in here, and I thought it was pretty good. Jay has a little bit of a different take on it, but I think it was all right. I mean, I wouldn't say it blew me away or anything, but it gave me like a 6.5 out of 10 at least. You know?
Wow. So you didn't have it ranked that high. Okay. Okay. I'm going to tell everybody this right here, right now, is level your expectations, because we're, keep in mind, we're coming off, Endgame and Spider-Man, the second Spider-Man movie. This movie is definitely a step backward, not just in narrative, but in quality. And when I say narrative, it doesn't really drive the entire MCU forward at all, really. There is kind of an Easter egg in the post-credit scene, but again, it doesn't really carry anything too much forward, really. The action, I think the action could have been better. I didn't think the camera work was terrible, and the martial arts looked a little off. Okay, enough crapping on it. I will say this: David Harbour's Red Guardian is the highlight of the movie. He's definitely a high point and a highlight of the movie. I really hope we see more of that character. And for anyone who's going to watch Black Widow, rather if you see it streaming or in the theater, my personal take is, if you have a family at home, just pay the $30 at home. If you're a single guy like me, just go see it in the theater. Whatever costs cheaper, because I don't feel like the theater experience changes anything much. I will say this though, I would rewatch Civil War. Watch Captain America Civil War before you watch this movie, because this is where this movie takes place immediately at the end of Civil War. So that's what I'm saying. This is going backwards. Anyway, I'm going to be generous. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. I don't think it's that good. It's not terrible, but it's not great. This is fresh off the Marvel assembly line of movies, me putting it that way. And I feel like this was one of the ones, oh wait, this one wasn't ready yet. Okay, it's a little late, but we'll put this one out now. That's my humble opinion, but if you're a fan of the MCU, go see it, because Joe is correct. It does flesh out Black Widow a lot more, but as the MCU narrative as a whole, it doesn't. And that's my take on it.
I love what Shea Smithers just wrote. I wish David Harbour could have been the Thing for the Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, dude, Shea Smithers knows how to cast.
You should be a casting director, man, for real. Like, that's what, 3 for 3 that he's done for us. He also said, Pest. He also said once that who's the guy from Bohemian Rhapsody? What's his name? Rami Malek should play Nightcrawler when they do X-Men.
And he also said, Victor Drago from Creed 2 should be Colossus. But he's too late.
He knows how to cast movies.
Yeah, but too late. He's already in the MCU. He's gonna be one of the villains in Shang-Chi.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah. You know the scene in the trailer where he's fighting that big dude with the beard on the bus?
Oh, that's him?
That's Victor Drago.
I gotta go look at that again, because I didn't even recognize him.
Yeah, that's Victor Drago. I don't remember the actor's. Well, he's not an actor. He was a boxer, but
Right.
Sylvester Stallone found another star. Sylvester Stallone knows how. He has an eye for talent.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Those all make sense.
Yeah.
those all actually make great sense. Yeah.
My buddy Jim in the chat has a question about comic books. He wants to know if he said, didn't a Deadpool versus Predator comic just come out?
That'd be an interesting matchup if it did.
I am not sure. I haven't heard anything about that.
I know there's Batman versus Predator. I know there's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know about that one. I was gonna say, I mean, Marvel technically owns, for now, Marvel does own Predator, so maybe we'll see something like that.
Oh, I could feel that real quick and see if I can find it.
Okay, so go ahead, Joe, do that. So Pest, it is 9:30. So I'll give you the floor. Go ahead and plug yourself in, and where can people find you, and explain your channels and stuff.
Awesome. So you can find me here on YouTube, PTA Sports.
Logos on your screen. Links in the description.
The PTA Sports YouTube channel is, as I said earlier, it is primarily a New York Giants football channel. That's what we talk about the most. Although I do give my opinion on some things that are not Giants football. I just did a video about supporting small content creators. I did a video recently about the way we interact with each other on social media. I do some opinion pieces as well, but it's primarily Giants football. I kind of know what I'm talking about a little bit. I've coached football. And then you can find me on Twitch also at PTA Sports, all one word. On Twitch, I go live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. I stream for about 3 hours. Sometimes I go 4. Wow. I play a variety of games on there. I would actually stream probably 6 days a week, but I do a live stream on my YouTube channel every Wednesday night at around 8 or 8:30. So I am legitimately doing some kind of live content creation 6 days a week. It would be fantastic if you can come over to my Twitch channel and come hang out. The gameplay is average. I'm an average gamer, but this is the show. Okay.
Yeah.
Not the gameplay. This is the show.
No, we just want to hear you react every time you lose or get your ass kicked.
Yeah, listen, you come. Listen, people come there. They make fun of me when I lose. I tell them to fuck off. Okay, we have a great time. We have a great time. So yeah, I'd greatly appreciate if you guys would come and check me out on Twitch. It's like I said, it's a variety of games. I play all kinds of different things. I play sports games, fighting games, adventure games, arcade games. I play all kinds of stuff on there because I like to play video games and I can interact with people while I do it. So you can also find me on Twitter at Pestilence, PESTALANCE. We didn't get to talk music, but there's a reason why it's Pestilence, and I'm Pest the Analyst. We'll get into that in the future. Spoiler, no spoilers right now, but we'll tell you about that. Those are pretty much the best ways to get me. I've got an Instagram. It's also Pestilence, but I'm not really on Instagram that much. I'm on there sometimes, but I don't really post pictures. I'm around. I try to support everyone that I can. I wholeheartedly believe in the community aspect of content creation or music creation or art or whatever it is that we're doing. I will never be too big to support someone that's small. Maybe I can like rub that off on some other people. Who knows? But that's who I am, and I will definitely be back. This place is fun. I really like it here. I may be a reoccurring cast member, guys. So we'll catch it.
We welcome it, man.
Look what Paul said in the chat. He's like, "Yo, we need to bring Pest for a movie review."
Yes.
We
absolutely.
We can make that. We can make that happen.
We sure can.
We'll find a way.
We sure can. Hey, you know what? How about this? Because you guys watched. How long until you do a spoiler review of Black Widow?
We're doing one on this weekend sometime.
Yeah, I think Saturday. We said we were going to do it either Saturday or Sunday.
Saturday or Sunday.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if you guys do it on Sunday, I will definitely, because I'm going to go see it Saturday night. Saturday, probably afternoon. So if you guys want to do it on Sunday,
Yeah.
I'll definitely come and be a part of you guys' spoiler discussion for Black Widow.
Yeah, because we plan on doing both. We plan on doing a rapid spoiler-free review, which we're gonna pump out fast, and then we will do an audio-only spoiler discussion, and we'll probably record it Sunday. We'll probably put it out later in the week so we can give people time to watch it.
Cool.
And we're gonna put it on YouTube and all the platforms and whatnot. So we can. I'm sure Mark. I'm down if he's down.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be all right.
Absolutely.
I'm even more excited to see Black Widow now.
Listen, I'm listening. Anything you guys want to do and involve me, just let me know.
Yeah. I know how to get a hold of you. I mean, I get a hold of you.
Just let me know. I'm here, and I'm always willing to work with as many people as I can, because as I said, I think this is a community, and I think that we should all support each other and work together. So I'm down.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. Mark, I know you got some stuff to plug in, so plug away.
Hey, if you have not watched it yet, earlier today we dropped our look back episode on the 30th anniversary of Terminator 2. Now, Jay and I rarely agree on movies. We are fighting like cats and dogs usually, but this one I think we are in 100% agreement, or however you want to call it, that this is probably the best sequel of all time. Definitely one of the best sci-fi movies of the late 20th century. James Cameron's best film, arguably. I mean, it's one of our favorites. And so we had a ton of fun making this one. It's up right now. Take 10 minutes out of your life to check it out and let us know what you think in the comments.
And of course, the Facebook group. Tell them.
Oh, yeah. So also we have a Facebook discussion group, NerdCage Live discussion group. We just started it about a week ago.
And it's blown up.
Yeah. We're having a ton of fun on there. So you can find us on there. Just if you're not friends with us or not a part of our actual NerdCage Live channel, that's not a problem. Just search us in groups and you can find us. We'll add you right away. And this is it's not a group that's just talking about the channel or talking about the show. We chop it up about all kinds of stuff. Like, we want to know what your favorite action movie is, what your favorite Vegas movie is, what your favorite rom-com, all kinds of things. We just want to talk about movies in general and TV shows and all kinds of cool nerdy stuff. So yeah, so check us out, man. It's a place for us.
Yeah, and links in the description for that as well. And also, fellow content creators, fellow friends alliance of the NerdCage Live, they post their content as well. So this is not just us post our stuff. You can post questions and your content as well for for that audience to see. So it's a discussion for everybody, and we're having a field day. There's always something going on. Every day there's something going on, and I'm loving it. Shout out to the guys from Real Talk. They're kind of the ones that kind of inspired us to do it. Mark was like, yo, we need to do this. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. So, yes, the NerdCage Facebook discussion group is live. Link is in the description. Please check it out. Join in on the fun. I mean, we're always talking about something, and obviously spoiler-free. Please keep it spoiler-free because we don't – that's basically our main – I mean, obviously the obvious rules. Don't fight. Don't be an asshole. But another rule, no spoilers because, obviously people are watching Loki, people are watching Black Widow. We'll keep it spoiler free. We don't want to ruin it for nobody. Well, that's our only rule. It's a place for everybody, so please join that group. Joe, you got anything to plug in?
Well, I do have to answer that question that they brought up about the Deadpool versus Predator. That was I just looked it up. It was a fan-made comic back in March.
It makes sense.
Yeah. And the only thing I can plug in is my Twitter, which is at Follow1Gaming. So there you can reach me there if you need to, or on the discussion group. So
Absolutely.
Either way.
And one more thing to plug in is we do have another look back on the way. Keep your eyes peeled for that. The Mario Top 10 discussion is baking in the oven. I'm going to have it out, if not the end of this month or early August. But the Mario Top 10 rankings is with the same crew. It's Nick from Review Roulette Podcast, Godzilla Gamer Cole, and who's the other gentleman? And Sean from Shots of Japanese Cinema. If you liked our Zelda video and if you liked our Mortal Kombat video, you're gonna love our Mario video. It was a lot of fun because since there's so many Mario games, there was a lot of arguments about where these Mario games rank. So we had fun doing that. So keep your eyes out for that. Next week there'll be a live stream. Next week we don't know what we're gonna do next week. It's kind of like open. It's an open spot. We don't know. We don't have anything planned for next week's stream. But if Giants Nation's still here, July 22nd, the following stream, Authentic from Authentic in the Beard is going to do a live performance. Let me repeat that.
Yeah.
Live performance from Authentic. I
didn't know y'all.
wait.
Wait a minute. Wait. I didn't know that y'all were doing like live performances.
Oh yeah.
I did not know that. These were things that were happening. We're gonna have to have some more conversation about some stuff off camera.
Absolutely. This is a full-on variety show, man. That's
so dope. I saw that and I was like, word?
Yeah, we had a band play. Orion played live acoustically actually it was in May. And it was a fantastic turnout. We were like, oh my God, can we actually pull this off with Zoom and stuff? And we did. And then when Authentic came on last month, and then we kind of put him on the spot. Like, hey, would you want to do a live performance? And he's like, hell yeah, dude. So like, yeah, Authentic's gonna do a live show. I cannot wait. I love Pest.
That's exciting.
Have you listened to his album?
I bought it when it first dropped. Like,
It's good.
I legitimately like because when he put it out there, it was a little 24-hour deal, and you could donate. And I was like, donate? I'm giving you actual like money, and I gave him money. Like, here's money for this damn project. And I listened to it the day it dropped. I listened to the whole thing. I reached out to him and was like, yo, that's amazing. I need to do some more talking with Authentic. That's what I'm gonna say. I need to do some more conversation.
Yeah, no, we're excited to have him. So yeah, Authentic will be back on live performance on the 22nd, and of course you already know already the 29th. Scott Pilgrim versus the World watch party with a bunch of our friends. So be there for that. We're gonna run that promo. So that's all I got. So Pest, if you want to stick around for a couple minutes after we close out this live broadcast?
I'm not going nowhere. I'm talking to you guys on Jam Night.
All right, sounds good. So, hey, you guys know what's up. So, that being said, before we go, we ask you to please like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, spread that shit like silver. So, USA, from Syracuse, New York, to Louisville, Kentucky, to New Jersey, to all of our friends and fans around the world at NerdCage Live and PTA Sports. Enjoy life, stay safe, and good night.
Sayonara.
Hi.
NerdCage Nation, are you ready for round number 7? What better movie that bleeds everything nerd culture than the 2010 cult classic Scott Pilgrim versus the World on Thursday, July 29th, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. in the West. So joining the NerdCage crew you know and love, including Mark Withers, myself, Joe, the Trollhammer, and voice actor extraordinaire Matthew Farden, we got a lineup louder than a sex bomb.
Coming at you fast, Titan Goji from the Toku Titan cast. Once again, on the attack is Big Jack. From the depth of nerd hell comes Alex the Swell. More powerful than General Zod comes Nick and Laura from the Review Roulette Pod. And walking the movie walk, once again, Wes, Gabe, and Tommy from Real Talk.
Good day for a swell battle. And begin!
Ooh, trying to get out of the NerdCage, are ya? Well, before you go, hit that subscribe button. And if you're really intrigued, ring that bell. Thank you for dropping by. Until next time, tell everyone you know about NerdCage Live!